Oh, come on.
Oh, I don't want to be sad.
I'll stand. It's cool.
I'm squishing the middle.
I am like bigger than both of you.
That's okay.
We've had
We've had bigger guests.
Okay. I'll try. We'll see.
Yeah.
My back is
Also,
sweaty.
we're gonna be here for like an hour or so. We don't want to make you stand for that long.
See, this is why we were saying we just need to make like a second stool so that like the guests can be comfortable over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would sit on like a tiny little like pity stool.
Not a pity stool.
So I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Nah, did you see that extra piece of wood in Colin's garage? He's gonna make a stool out of just that.
Yeah. So it would literally be like a foot wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like a foot tall.
Yeah.
Because it was literally a 3 feet piece of wood that I had just left over.
Okay.
So, like I
Did you
said,
make
it's
this bench?
yeah, we made this from scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which, by the way,
Where
welcome
are we
everybody.
going? Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
to Benched.
I'm gonna leave
Hi
that in.
guys. Yeah, cool.
Today's episode, we're not in front of water.
Yeah,
was
surprise,
kinda
surprise. Yeah,
A running joke between us for a while.
yeah. It's not like we can really help it either. It's just how Jacksonville is.
Yeah.
So.
It's like you try to go to like any park and find like the most memorable part of that park, and we were making the joke like all of them are just focused on the river.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of what we have to move with.
But anyways, we have a special guest here with us.
Yes, his name is Devin. Welcome to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Hi. Good to be here. Good to be here. Anyways, I'll pass it off to the actual co-host.
Yeah, I'm the actual co-host. He was just filling in for me, actually.
25 episodes.
Yeah.
My name's Jordan, yeah.
What do you do, Jordan?
I like to make music. I'm a recording engineer, mixing engineer, just graduated Full Sail for that purpose. So,
That's what we like to see.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much a little bio about me.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like corny to bring up like you just dropped a song.
Oh, yeah, I did. It's on streaming platforms, it's called Never
By Jordan Blackburn.
by Jordan Blackburn, yeah. You go check it out if you want to.
It's pretty good. It'll
Not to
make
be
you
a SoundCloud rapper from Jacksonville, but
it'll make you cry. Or cream. It's one or the other.
Whoa.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Which one, Colin?
I was just projecting through.
Right.
Hypothetically, you could cream dude if you.
Like
I would never.
I don't know if I would try, but I mean it could happen if you wanted
You'd
it.
say you would try.
I said I don't know if I would try. I mean,
You didn't have to try, it just happened.
it just it may have been out of my
Natural
control.
response. Turn on the song.
Yeah, you can work on this.
I called him right after. That's what's crazy.
No, seriously.
I was like,
I
damn, you
posted
ate
it to
that
my
shit
story,
up.
and 3 minutes later, I get a call.
I hope you didn't admit to anything.
Don't worry, it's nothing crazy.
No, you just...
I didn't give away all the secrets.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a great start to the episode, considering I feel like we're back in our roots at a playground sort of area, which is
I
After
forgot that was
everything-
such a joke for the long
after everything you just said.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I kind of forgot where I was
At
at.
the park.
No, that's
You
not
know.
funny.
that's
That's crazy.
that's really on brand for you. Yeah.
Oh,
But no,
we gotta tone it back down a bit.
for the first 10 or so episodes, they all took place around here really,
Okay.
and always a playground in sight and potentially children around, and Colin talking crazy the way he does,
Yeah.
it always scared me that we might get in trouble.
I always tuned off and forgot that I'm 20 now.
Mhm.
I was like, when I was 16, I could have acted like this, and people would just be like, oh, shitty teenager.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
So it's I gotta tune it back down.
They're almost really legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 1 year. Well, not even a year. It's
It's a couple
5 months. Yeah. It's weird.
Wow.
It is weird. But
If you can hear what's going on in the background, there is a little bit of construction
yeah.
to the side. So just bear with us, bear with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry about that.
The Hawks too.
But yeah, the Hawks are going crazy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
Do you mind describing what they're constructing right now? But not for real. Like wrong answers only.
it's actually another podcast, and they're just working on their own seating arrangement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They know that they can't do bench, so like, it kind of looks lawn chairs.
They're doing lawn chaired, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really intense lawn chairing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit's
You know,
gonna be
it's serious.
sturdy.
Yeah. We should do an episode on the roof of my house.
You think we could get this up there?
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't even think it's like stable enough, sturdy
Trying to
enough.
Get that through your window.
Jesus.
That window.
Oh my god.
Oof.
No, it was
That'd be
really
rough.
funny when we used to go out on that window. I never did it as a kid, but when I was like hanging out with you guys at like late high school, I just thought like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I went out onto the roof, and it's really like steep at that point.
Yeah.
And I had done some stuff for like photos, and then it's like a 15-foot drop.
Nice.
And there have been a few times where I like almost lost my footing. It freaked me the fuck out
Yeah.
bad. There was one time where like my dad was pressure washing on that roof, and he's almost like slipped off a few times. It was funny. He was like, "Hey, the window locked. Kids, go inside. Open the window up for me," because he was freaking the fuck out. His like ladder fell and shit.
Oh.
He couldn't get down the ladder.
No one was holding the ladder for him.
No. No, he just thinks he can do shit on his own like that.
It's a real handyman.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, he is the one that sort of built this bench, so.
Yeah.
True.
We spent an episode of the podcast just as like building this bench, and what we had spent like 9 hours on what would have taken us 30 minutes if we had a power saw. We didn't have a
Okay.
We took
Wood
30
by
minutes.
hand?
30
we
minutes
took
is
a
kind of
like old school fucking hand
Oh
saw.
my god.
It was bad.
Y'all were like in the Looney Tunes shows where they go back.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. It was terrible.
Our
And then
hands
literally
were,
my
like,
dad came
dead.
over off camera for 5 minutes, just zoom, 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 and then like cleaned up the edges and shit. And he's like, "All right, cool, we can get the building." And I was like, and then he built it in like 20 minutes. We spent 8 hours, and I had to cut out all of that footage for
Yeah.
one episode.
The crazy thing is, you could have went to like Home Depot, bought a
Listen,
power tool,
bought
and then
it.
returned
Listen.
Well, even then, like we bought it from Home Depot, and they would have done the cuts for us
Oh, that is true.
if we would have known that. But if we would have taken it back, they wouldn't have. It would have had to be like as we bought it, they could do cuts for us.
But we wouldn't have had an episode.
We
I mean, also, like,
could have just assembled it like IKEA, and then we're like started talking for the rest of the episode.
yeah.
But
Also, like, I think that makes it a little more special.
yeah,
Like, we actually almost quite literally put our blood, sweat, and tears all over this bench.
yeah. No, we literally were like losing our minds by the end of it.
Yeah.
It's probably like our most depressing episode. I think that was like, what episode was that? Like 8? Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
No, that one was so funny.
Yeah. But since then, I'm happy with where we're at. With it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Something I wanted to get into that wasn't on my topic list, but now is because we talked about this off camera.
Okay.
But Colin, your taste in water.
We've had this discussion many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
And have we ever really had it on camera?
Maybe briefly, but we never got into it. And I'm happy to talk about it now because I have someone who I can relate to, someone who's on my side.
Someone who's real.
Yeah,
Ah.
someone who's real, someone who can back me up on this.
Gotcha. So you wanted to ambush me, basically.
Yeah.
You wanted to
Jumpy.
have
yeah.
this debate, but you bring a friend to help you defend yourself,
Perhaps.
where I am single-handed
Listen,
and alone.
This
and
wasn't the plan. It just happened to work out that
And
we
I'm
got
overwhelmed.
that we got someone with good taste.
True.
So we got into it briefly when
Bless you.
you're feeling bad. You're
allergies
sick
for
now.
real.
You're sick now. What a
No, I'm
convenient
sick of y'all
time.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh wow. We got into it briefly when the CEO of your water decided to, back Russia a little bit. So you already have some questionable morals.
Hey, so I like Zephyrhills. It's a Florida spring water. I grew up with it, so it's just kind of like what I'm used to. They're owned by Nestle, and Nestle's a bad company, so we stopped buying it.
You grew up on Zephyrhills. I would call it CPS. That's a federal offense.
It's not bad. It just tastes clear. It tastes like
That's a
nothing.
lie. That's false.
It tastes like nothing.
No, it tastes like snot. Especially warm Zephyrhills has the consistency of snot. All you're tasting when you taste Zephyrhills is like catfish pee.
I really don't taste that.
Your taste buds aren't exquisite enough.
Yeah.
I've just been like indoctrinated to not
I
taste it
swear,
anymore.
yeah, it goes down like phlegm. I swear to
It
God.
does.
It's
it does.
really not that bad.
It is. It goes down, especially like it doesn't have to be warm, but like just
Room
room
temp?
temperature. Room temperature Zephyrhills is the worst thing on the planet. Like I would. This
I'm
is gonna
with you
be
there.
controversial.
I'm so with you there.
I'd rather drink Dasani than room temperature. Like that's real. Like room temperature Zephyrhills is disgusting. It's so bad.
But I feel like that's just how it is with like all room temperature water.
no.
Nah, bro.
No. I will drink anything else room temperature, but Zephyrhills, I have to put it in the fridge if I have to drink a Zephyrhills, or like I have to get some ice or something.
What is your go-to water?
That's a very good question. I usually like use my Brita, cause like you can't drink the tap water in Florida, but like I usually like use my Brita and then I put it in the fridge and get it super cold because I don't like warm water. But like
Is it bad that I drink the tap water in Florida?
very much so actually.
Okay.
They
Good to know.
they specifically tell you like all the time don't drink the tap water, especially like once a year. Like hey, the tap water is like really bad right now. They tell you not to even use your ice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because of how bad the water is over here.
I mean, that's fair. Maybe that's why I'm dumb.
Yeah. Nah,
But
you
that's why you like
drinking
Zephyrhills.
you drinking the tap, that like doubles down on your bad taste,
Hey, man.
honestly.
I'm just like that.
Yeah. I think it's gotten to your head a little bit. Like that's why you say some of the shit you say. Like,
Are you gaslighting me?
Yeah, that's why you said cream earlier.
Yeah.
I just hate when you hang out with your friends like this, honestly.
Yeah.
It's really just those friends you're hanging around.
Yeah, why are you listening to them? You know you can only trust me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come
Yeah.
on.
You guys are like trying to change my perspective. Wow, that water, it's really fucking with you, honestly.
Yeah, that water's just putting that shit in your head, Yeah. Like, oh.
Like, you really weren't talking about me cheating on you until you start
Yeah.
drinking that water.
Just like, yeah. Oh, you're doing other podcasts with other people. No, I'm not. I'm right here. You can trust me.
So I was actually meaning to talk to you about that. So I'm starting a new podcast.
Oh wow.
Ah, all right.
Like
Do
I
tell.
need another podcast.
Yeah. No, do tell. Tell me about it. Yeah.
It's actually just the I Hate Devin podcast, and it's
Wow.
just me
Wow.
talking alone.
It's an NPR thing.
Yeah. Welcome to NPR. I don't know what NPR stands for. I don't know how they do that.
Me either.
It's always just like really whispery though.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about why I hate Devin,
Yeah.
part 237. Zephyrhills. He never let it down.
Yeah.
He always had to talk about my water taste.
For some reason, if you made it to 237 episodes, I would believe it. I feel like there's a lot of things you could go in on. Yeah.
Yeah. Think that if anybody was listening to episode 237, I'd be concerned. I'd be like, damn, this Devin dude is fucking. I wonder if he actually did what he did. Like,
Is this a real person?
it's like, honestly, the way he's talking about Devin, I'm starting to think that Colin is the one in the wrong.
What if it's just like episode 237? Why is he talking about his water taste? In episode like 95, he talked about how he killed his grandmother.
It just completely de-escalated.
Yeah. Now you're just reaching for things to hate me for.
And his stupid glasses.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
His goddamn beautiful jawline and shit and fucking.
It's not even a hate
long
thing anymore.
flowing
It's
hair.
just like
It's just
jealousy.
secretly I start like
Yeah.
getting real like he's just so fucking perfect, dude. I just hated how funny he was and how caring and nice of a human being he was.
I could see.
Do you want to
this-
kiss?
I could see this audio being used in like a Netflix murder doc.
Yo. The U part 4 or whatever.
Yeah, if I go missing, and this episode goes up, take it as a sign. Yeah. It was him. But anyways, to get off the whole murder thing,
To get off.
of course
Sorry.
you go there.
First you
Yeah.
went there.
Yeah.
First it's screaming, now it's getting off. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Keep
So
in mind-
circling back to Zephyrhills.
Yeah.
This is what it does to you.
Keep in mind, we're still at a park and with children. Yeah.
No, it is honestly terrible. It's really a tragedy. I'll stop talking for this episode. Here you go, co-host.
Yeah.
Do you watch Atlanta?
I don't. Like, I need to catch up. I watched like the first 3 episodes,
Mhm.
but I haven't watched anything else.
Well, Colin got me into it, and I caught all the way up in like 3-4 days. Cause I got really into it. I've always been a fan of like Donald Glover. Shout out Dong Lover.
Keep in mind, we're still at a park, and I was the
yeah,
one
yeah,
getting
yeah.
flamed.
I don't think I've ever heard of him as Donald Glover.
Really? Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Literally made a joke, I think, on like Jimmy Fallon where he was like, "Well, my name is literally Dong Glover."
Yeah. Just take out the ALD, you know?
Yeah.
Got what's left. I mean, good for him.
Is that a bee?
Ooh.
No, it's just a fly.
He's kind of dead.
I just die on you.
Died and then
Oh my.
fucking
It's still moving. It's dying on
It's
you.
dying on you. That's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
That's tough.
Wow.
R.I.P. that pussy. Yeah.
Word.
Still at a park with kids.
But he's getting better. Did you see his reaction as he was saying pussy? Like,
That's crazy. I literally, like, as I said it, I was like, yo, I was just talking about not wanting to talk.
yeah. You look so appalled. Like, I've never seen you, like, react like that after something you say. Just like, oh my god.
Again, I'm just like, I have some moral conscience, you know? Like, it peeks out every once in a while.
Yeah. Not as often as it should, but you got one for sure.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dong Lover.
True. True.
That's a good segue, yeah.
Back to Atlanta.
Yeah, so,
You
Like,
seen the most recent episode?
I did, and I wanted to get into that a little bit, at least.
The good thing is the most recent episode isn't like a story spoiler.
Yeah. I like how they do these sort of one-off stories.
Sorry. I was just saying so that I could kind of peep in. Because the thing is, like, they do every once in a while. It's like an episode that may have ties into like maybe some of the more important like cultural moments or things that are happening like in the world, and they just try to do like a brief touching on it through a story. And this week's was no different. It was a pretty good one. The first episode was kind of similar.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like it being like not related entirely, but some of the themes end up tying into what's happening in the main story.
Yeah. If we could give like a brief rundown, I guess. So it's this white guy. Already off to a bad start. No, I'm kidding. But he is sort of the story is sort of like a story of reparations, where a lot of black people around him are sort of getting reparations from the white people around him for stuff from slavery, like the ancestors of the white people owning the ancestors of the black people. You alright? Was that a?
That sounded like a big one.
Sound like a big bee or something.
Yeah.
But essentially, the story came down to, I think, being brief, they were like, some man noticed that, they said the Tesla guy They didn't say like
Oh,
Elon
yeah,
Musk. I
Elon,
think
yeah.
they were kind of hinting that
Just alluding to him.
Elon Musk grew up from a family that apparently owned slaves, and they were trying to say that in court somebody had sued him for profits he had made off of his ancestors' work. And it was essentially this thing where it starts off with like, can you believe that? Da, 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 da. And like you said, the main character that's focused on this episode is like a white guy working in a cubicle. A lot of his coworkers are about the same, you know, just like white middle class.
Mm-hmm. He's got a wife and daughter. Well, soon to be divorced wife.
Yeah. And the guy wins in court, and they start talking about like, does this mean that people can actually start like suing for the reparations? Mm-hmm. And it was kind of trying to touch on like what would happen if people actually had to pay the reparations, and they would touch on things like, he was like, well, that's the Tesla guy, he can afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
when it comes down to it, and someone approaches him about it, you know,
he starts freaking out and thinking like, oh, well, you can't do that to me.
yeah.
I'm not the Tesla
He was
guy.
like, what do you say? He's like, I'm Austro-Hungarian. Like,
We were enslaved.
yeah, in the Byzantine era.
And literally, like, this Jewish girl was like, that was literally like 1,000,000 years ago.
No.
But in the episode, they kind of tackled like the themes of like white fragility. You know, how even though they had set in place like a pretty solid plan for how they would do it, everybody was just freaking out like, this is so unfair, this is so unfair. And what struck me about this episode was like, it was all shit that I've definitely like heard from people before. It's attitudes that, you know, I've heard growing up, just from like whether it be like family or people close to me in general. And it was kind of like that eye opener to me, because in the end of the episode, you know, they end up paying just like 10 to 15% tax of like all their income just to pay back, and then it ends up helping like a bunch of black families like lift out of their situation. And
In the end, he's like waiting tables at
Yeah.
a restaurant.
the big analogy was that you know, they had a character named Ernest, and I wonder how that's gonna kind of tie in later, because I think that also happened in the first episode where there was another character named Ernest. Ern is Donald Glover's character, but this was a completely other person just named Ernest, and I was wondering if that was like some way of tying in.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see how that ties in later, but essentially he comes up and he's like, is it really that unfair? It's like my granddad said he always, you know, he built everything from the ground up all by himself and by his bootstraps. Turns out he didn't. He had a lot of help. He's like, we've put them into this situation where, you know, now like your daughter, she's going to grow up without a father, you know, struggling to find food, all this kind of stuff. And that's basically the same situation we put them in. Is that entirely unfair? It's like, for us, we get to look back at slavery as if it's this historical fascination, mystery that we get to explore. But for other people, it's this ghost that haunts them, you know. It's this thing that never really went away. It was only 200 years ago or so.
The way I interpreted that Ernest speaking was Donald Glover's actual thoughts.
Yeah.
And that was his that character was his tool to get those out.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
But after that whole monologue, he walks around to this takes place in a hotel, like in the lobby of a hotel. So after that whole monologue to the main character, he walks around to the pool and shoots himself in the head, and that's the end of his arc.
Yeah. It was kind of like just to say this, like, this message, and then it was playing into, he was like, they're not the first one this week. It was just like a bunch of white dads coming to this bar to drink, and then he shot himself.
Yeah. I thought the episode was like fantastic, and then I go to like see how other people feel about it, and like it has a lot of like controversy around it. But what's interesting is I found that the majority of people that didn't like it were white, and a lot of the people that found it really good.
When I watched it, I was like, this is gonna get some weird backlash, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great, because for me, like I said, it was almost like an eye-opener where it shouldn't have been. But, you know, I know that I'm not perfect, and I, you know, have my bias, or not biases, but I know that I have, like, things that I'm still learning. And that was one of those things where, like, it hadn't really been put into that perspective for me before. And I think that's kind of what the intention of the episode is to try and do, is to try and create that conversation. And I thought it was really good. But my immediate thought was like, oh, some white dudes on Twitter are going to have a field day. Don't tell Ben Shapiro about this shit. That motherfucker's going to go crazy.
The idea of Ben Shapiro watching Atlanta is so funny, though.
Because he has to get through so much shit to see that.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
Like,
imagine him critiquing Paperboy. Yeah. Paperboy.
I'm all about that Paperboy. You see, I don't understand what the critique is supposed to be here. Are they just trying to make fun of rap music? Are they just trying to say that it's generic?
I'm kind of like mixing him with Tucker Carlson, but they're like the same person.
Yeah. The same person.
Yeah, fuck them both.
I think they quite literally are the same person. Like, he just takes off his skin and puts on a new one. Yeah. Like, one of them has, like, Tucker Carlson specifically, he looks like it's very, like, removable. He looks like he sheds.
Well, why would you say that? Because I get up in the morning and
he literally sounds like a Batman villain when he talks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not correct. If you woke up one morning and noticed that your daughter was not in her bed like she's supposed to, but instead you find a video of her tied up in the basement of a random house, what would you do? What if it said from Tucker? What if you found it this morning? Oh, I believe you did. So, when it's asking for $2 million in ransom money, are you gonna give it?
You're giving me, like, nervous itches. I don't like this character.
I will find you.
Oh, okay. I know where you live. But,
I still have your daughter.
Oh, cool. No, but the thing about Tucker, like, his resting face, I don't think it's like him, like, just being mad and grumpy at the world. I think that's his loose skin not being applied on correctly. And that's the whole, like, movable thing, you know?
Yeah, that's why he looks so concerned. It's just the face is drooping a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the adhesive is, like, wearing off, you know? He needs to, like, get on that. You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, you definitely need to catch up on Atlanta.
Yeah,
I do. Like, it was funny the first 3 episodes I watched. I, like, currently am watching Community. So, like...
Still a good choice.
Yeah,
hilarious.
another dong lover specialty.
Yeah, I started binging Community when it first came on Netflix, and that was after I had, like, watched The Office all the way through with Megan. And it is kind of crazy to hear, like, all the backstage drama behind it. Like, I guess, you know, Chevy Chase ended up... No, Community. Chevy Chase ends up leaving in one of the later seasons. And I guess it was because he didn't like how his character was being portrayed. But his character was literally supposed to be the old, like, out-of-touch racist white guy. And he didn't like being the old racist white guy, but then behind the scenes, he was apparently the old racist white guy.
Oh, he went method.
Yeah, he was method as shit. So they wrote him off the show in a really funny way. If you've gotten to that already.
I haven't.
Yeah, whenever you get to it, it is a funny episode.
Okay.
But after that happens, it kind of, there's like, towards the later seasons, it kind of goes off hill, and then the last season, they do pretty good with.
Okay.
Because they kind of started losing focus towards the later seasons. But then that last season, they really tried to pick it up and end it strong.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's a pretty funny show.
Yeah.
I was kind of saying it reminds me of like a Nick show if they were allowed to say like cuss words.
Yeah.
It has the same energy, like goofiness to it, but they're like talking about sex.
Yeah, I love the skit comedy. The skit comedy is great.
Oh, it is.
It's so good.
Troy in our bed in the morning.
In the morning.
That's just the best.
That pillow fort scene, or the pillow fort episode?
Yes.
That was actually so stupid. Oh my god, bro. That crap was so stupid. The fact that they like missed class for like 3 days just to have a pillow fight is ridiculous. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta
like
rewatch
Community.
that.
It's hilarious.
Have you watched Community?
Huh?
Did you watch any Community?
I watched like the first like two seasons.
Alright.
But like I gotta like get back on that.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
The first 2 seasons were amazing. Like, I think I just got to this 3rd, but I haven't like started the 3rd yet. But
Yeah. Because what is it, like, isn't there like 5 or 6 seasons or something like that?
yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah. I think it's like 4 and 5 is where it kind of like,
Yeah.
That's usually where shows go to their when they start
Yeah.
going, like past. When every time a show goes past 3 seasons, it's like okay.
you got to start switching it up. But
Yeah.
if they don't, it's like, it gets old.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a show that like through and through has been like amazing all the way?
It's a really good question.
That's hard because I was going to say Breaking Bad, but even in Breaking Bad, I think during the middle it kind of lulled a bit. Like, I think there's like, I don't remember how many seasons there are of Breaking Bad. But I have finished that like a while ago, and it was pretty solid for the most of the way, but I do remember in the middle kind of being like, let's just get past this.
Yeah.
And then in like the final few seasons, it like catches up crazy. Once you start getting into like Los Pollos Hermanos, all that kind of stuff with, I forget the actor's name. He was in The Mandalorian with the Darksaber. Or not Mandalorian, is it? No, it is.
It was one something Carlo.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
People
though.
know. People know.
Damn. My
Once
fault.
you see that man's face, that's when it gets good.
Yeah. Also, I know we already acknowledged it, but it sounds like a crazy like shootout.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Pow, 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 pow.
Sound like they open a gun range to the right of us.
Yeah.
It's like airsofting.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We could check back in and see how it sounds later.
Yeah, I feel like we might get hit with shrapnel or something, like, the way it is. But
I'm in the Jada and that Will love.
No.
word. Okay.
That J. Cole bar did not age.
I think it aged fantastically.
I've seen him like performing it live, and then he like doesn't do the bar anymore. He like won't say it.
Wow. Oh no.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then love. And he just goes back to it.
Damn.
That's terrible.
I mean, I think that is just a good line to throw out to the fans to do,
Yeah.
regardless. But in that context, it's funnier. So
Yeah.
I'll believe it's that. Yeah.
'Cause I don't think anybody wants that Jada and that Will love.
Yeah. But have you listened to that Jack Harlow track, First Class?
I hate it. I hate it
Hate
so
it?
much. I hate it so much. Because like
Yeah.
I definitely think that like that song was like made just so that it would blow up on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you hear the part the snippet that he released, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like cool wordplay, like, do what you want. And then you listen to the rest of it, it's actual dog shit. Like I've never. It was so bad.
It just sounds so lazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was saying too. I was like, if you're gonna use
Yeah, go off,
a
Jack.
sample. Oh, it touched me. Anyways,
As the Jack Harlow wannabe, your thoughts?
yeah. As
This
like,
isn't my roast. This is like
as
the
the
general
great
sentiment.
value Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in my DNA to have to talk about this and have an opinion because you know I have to have an opinion apparently.
Yeah, we have a podcast. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I just thought that like if you're gonna take a sample that's gonna be so memorable to his audience, you know the fucking like white frat dudes who don't listen to rap but they listen to Jack Harlow though, you know who he's catering to. If he'd have like a Fergie sample, and then just be really fucking lazy with the sample, like the wordplay was cool like one time when you heard the snippet. And then he does nothing else with it. And I'm not talking like the shit where the TikTokers are like, well, why didn't he keep it going and be like, make her go, oh. And I'm like, that's so fucking corny. All right? I'm saying like, do something more interesting with the beat as a whole, like with the rest of the fucking song, because like you said, he comes in with the same flow. He's not really saying anything too enjoyable. Mm-hmm. It's just a mid-ass song. And a lot of people are trying to hate on it now after they were hyping up the snippet. But like you were saying, I feel like there's a lot of artists who play off of this snippet game where they're like, I'm going to try to get a snippet big on TikTok. And then after that, I'm going to try and release this song like a month or two later so that the hype builds up. But I feel like although that works to bring attention to an artist, I feel like it doesn't translate well to like long-term listeners.
Yeah.
Because when I hear TikTok sounds, like 9 times out of 10, I just remember it as the TikTok sound. And I don't go back and listen to it in full, especially if it lags. Because that Jack Harlow shit, I'm not going back to.
No, never.
As soon as that album comes out, that is the first song I'm skipping. As soon as I see First Class no.
Yeah. No, it's funny seeing like all the people under that sound, just like specifically like white people. Again, we're harping on them a lot, but they can take it. Yeah.
I can take it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just like seeing their reactions to like the wordplay and thinking that's the most mind-blowing shit they've ever heard, you know?
Yeah. These motherfuckers listen to Kendrick for the beat or something.
No,
Right?
seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like, yeah, I listen to Kendrick. I can't name like one quote.
Yeah.
I listen to Kendrick and then completely is just like a racist. It's like, do you listen to Kendrick?
You know, it's like same thing
They
with like
listen to
JPEG
Kendrick,
Mafia
yeah.
fans. Like, I listen to JPEG Mafia and then I just forget that he like hates white people. Like,
They listen to Kendrick and say every bar that he says.
Including
every
the N-word.
word.
Including
Yeah.
the N-word.
no, didn't Kendrick have like a white girl on stage for like one of his songs one time?
And she said the N-word.
Yeah,
He kicked her
yeah. He
off.
was like, no, we're not doing that. Let's go back down. That was crazy.
Yeah. No, that seems pretty on par, on
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
No, when I was listening to it and then I heard his read off the bar, pineapple juice, I give her sweet semen.
I thought he said sweet tea.
Tea?
I thought he said tea, and I was like, that's a horrible bar. But that's worse. That's worse.
To give her that sweet semen.
That's so much worse. Holy crap. Oh my god,
You know,
bro.
What a nice guy, Jack Harlow. You just giving her sweet tea, you know? Yeah.
So I was like, what?
He's a southern boy. He said, you know, my mom just made some sweet tea.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess. That's so much worse.
I don't think I ever listened to that and thought it could be anything else than semen.
I only heard it on TikTok because I was like scrolling through TikTok and people were like, this song is ass, and then posted that one part. And I thought he said sweet tea, and I was like, what?
Why are people giving him shit for giving her sweet tea? Like, what's wrong with that? You know?
It's like not that creative, but like it's not offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Not the worst thing I've ever heard, but like, shit, where was I going with that? Damn it, I actually lost it.
Jack Harlow track, white fans. Kids Choice Awards. I think
No,
he's
actually, you were getting into like, this was off camera a bit ago. You were talking about how the whole pineapple juice thing was just a big conspiracy theory by Big
Oh
Juice.
yes, I do think that pineapple juice is a big conspiracy theory. I don't know if it actually works like that.
It's a placebo effect.
Yeah.
Definitely a placebo effect.
I think that like it was a rumor created to get people to actually drink pineapple juice because it's usually used for cooking. They don't put that shit in bottles. They put that shit in like a little can. So I'm like, I feel like they weren't getting as many like. They thought that maybe they could tap into a new market and experiment by saying like, if we get people drinking pineapple juice, do you think like we can start like bottling it and like serving it as like a drink? Which I still think they should do.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's partially like a marketing tactic.
it definitely is.
Like make it this like hidden myth that, you know, pineapple juice actually makes your cum taste better.
Tested
the
and
part.
proven. Just what?
How did y'all test that?
Yeah.
We use animal testing.
What?
Oh my god. Whoa.
Whoa.
I was gonna ask what animal like that matters. Like,
Because if it was like a rabbit, that'd be fucked up, man.
I don't
yeah,
think
that's right.
But like if you're using like
Right.
rats, like you know, it's eat.
Ah.
Yeah.
Just imagine like a scientist giving rats like pineapple juice and then
eat
making
up.
them ejaculate and trying tasting it.
No, because that's the thing is like, how do you make an animal? Nah. Let me go back a step. Let me go back a step. That's
finish that
crazy.
sentence.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I think you should
okay.
How
finish
do you
that
make the
thought.
animal what?
You heard the bigger picture. They know what we're talking about.
Zephyrhills.
That's
I
that's
just made
what
a
it does
Jack
to
Harlow
man.
quote too. That's crazy.
I'm so glad I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah,
fine.
me too, man.
I don't listen to Jack Harlow
Yeah.
enough.
How are you gonna quote your big bro like that?
Right. Your twin, your doppelganger.
Yeah.
Come on.
If this ever makes it to Jack Harlow, what's going on, twin?
Yeah. I'm gonna fight you, stink.
Fight you. I hate when you do that. I'm gonna fight you. I was telling Meg, I was like, because I was saying like that guy is the guy who like says like, "Where's my hug at?" Obviously, and also they're like, "Did you eat enough today?"
Yeah.
And like we've been making that joke, and she was like, "Nah, if you ask me like if I'm eating enough today, like that's kind of hot," and I was like, "That's concerning," because I was like, I get it, I should.
Yeah, just the whole checking up thing. Yeah, that's nice.
But I was like, random strangers saying that shit,
Yeah.
Nah,
they don't care about how much you ate.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is our fresh and fit moment. This is where I get into the misogyny. No, I'm playing. But I was like, nah, if some motherfucker's saying that to you, like, I gotta know that now.
Right,
Because I'm beating somebody up. Like,
Yeah. There's definitely an ulterior motive there.
Yeah.
For sure.
did you eat enough today? We should get you some food. You can't be hungry like that. Come on, you need to get some food. You can't just go hungry. That's not okay.
I'd love to see you throw hands though.
Yeah, actually. Well, you taught me how to fight, so you know I got it like that now. You know,
Yeah.
I could try.
I would pay to see him fight someone. That would actually
Me
be kind of
too.
funny.
Yeah.
Like,
In my
I'm not
head, I
saying
just
I'd bet
imagine-
against you, but I definitely would place a bet against you.
Right. Yeah.
I just like have this thought in my head that like I've never been in a fight, so like if I do get in a fight, I can't like lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I have to like knock someone silly. So maybe I should learn how to fight so that when it's that time
You can
and
challenge
it's
Jake
caught on
Paul.
video, yeah, right.
You can challenge Jake Paul.
You
Get
know.
the money.
That'd
Okay.
be fantastic.
I can get that bag.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, I've never fought in my life. I have a podcast that I do.
Oh my god.
I think you're a fucking dweeb,
Yeah.
and you should let me fight you. And
Big
he's gonna be like,
Paul.
Call out right now.
Yeah.
Jake Paul
Yeah.
call out right
Jake
now.
Jake
Paul
Paul,
fought.
you're a pussy.
Whoa.
You see this? This is
Obama
what-
shirt.
This is a pure man. This is what you're facing up against. Jake Paul, Logan Paul. I know y'all are in the WWE now. That's fitting for the fake sports shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is what Zephyrhills.
Y'all haven't fought. Yeah, Zephyrhills made me a different breed. I'm a different kind of being. All right. This is the animal you're going up against, big dog.
stance. I hate what stance you're taking up.
I just flex the traps because it's the only thing that like flares up. I have no other muscle. This is peak physical condition.
Yeah.
Says like every like white dude in one of those like compilations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you ever seen those where they're like, this peak physical condition? And it's just like a dude who's like crazy overweight.
Yeah.
He's talking to like a teenager who could easily knock him out.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
The idea of Jake Paul fighting an NBA player and then a few MMA guys and then going to a podcaster is
I think he's planning on
that's quite a fall from grace.
yeah, quite. Maybe I won't get Jake Paul. Maybe I'll get like Austin McBrone. That motherfucker's fighting for food crumbs at this point.
That man is fighting to not lose his house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey,
I have
He-
not kept up with them. Is
oh, you didn't hear anything about this?
Oh,
I thought we
yeah.
talked about it on the podcast.
He's like getting divorced. They like lost his house. They like lost their house.
So,
that million huge mansion they had. They lost it.
For that fight that they had done, there were
Yeah.
clauses in like he was getting
the
shit.
Bryce Hall one? Or the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was getting shit on because there were like they essentially broke even or some shit like that to the point where like
Oh, I did
he
hear about
didn't
that.
end up paying the fighters. But there were some appearances that he did have like ironclad like contracts for where like they were getting paid no matter what, and they didn't have that money.
Oh.
So there were people like I think it was like Kevin Durant or something like that. Some
What the
other
fuck?
some other people who were just
How
in
did you get
attendance.
Kevin Durant?
That was the thing, like people who were just in attendance and getting paid to be there didn't get paid, but their contract said you are going to pay me this amount or you're going to figure the fuck out.
That's really funny having to pay celebrities to be there because you know Kevin Durant would not be there otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. It could not be
TikTok
Kevin
news.
Durant, but I just remember it being like some big name in sports.
Okay.
But essentially, those contracts came up and people were like, hey, I'm suing the fuck out of you if you don't have my money. And it got to the point where it's like, that motherfucker might have to sell his house. He might have to sell his cars, all this shit, because he could not get around that.
Gotcha.
With Bryce Hall I don't think got paid.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think he got paid, like, his little upfront fee, but it was, like, $100,000, probably something like that, which is still good.
Yeah.
But compared to what he was being offered, where he was supposed to get, like, a couple mil off of it.
Wow.
Damn, getting paid a fraction of what you were supposed to after getting your ass beat, like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine if, like, Ben Askren got to the back and they're like, actually, yeah, no, you're only getting, like, $10K.
Dog. Ooh, wow.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, they had shit contracts.
Yeah.
But the celebrities who had good lawyers did not have shit contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only heard about, like, the first half of what you're saying, but I never kept up with it because...
Yeah.
Why would I keep up with Austin McBroom?
So the thought is, if Austin McBroom gets divorced, there's possibly the chance that his wife and kids can kind of separate themselves from the situation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, he kind of just is he put himself in this shit situation. He was trying to do, like, some crazy money scheme. I think he knew that he wasn't going to make Jake Paul money, but he tried to, like, tell all the promoters that he would. And then when he didn't, he just tried to take as much money for himself as he could.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know how I just missed a lot of that.
Well, this is the same dude who was like... He was, like, recording his daughter licking, like, a dick lollipop from, like, a Spencer's and put it on Twitter. Like, this is a dude
His 5-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh.
They, like, picked it up in, like, a store, and he was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I'm like, that's weird. He recorded it for Twitter, and then he, like, exploits their whole life growing
Twitter
up.
is, like, that's
family
not the
vlogs.
place. Twitter
That's
has
what I'm
some
saying.
creeps.
Yeah.
Twitter has creeps. That's disgusting.
That's the thing. I'm like, for a dude who, like, is so well known for exploiting his kids for views, I don't know why we were surprised that he would do something scammy as shit. It's just kind of gross, and you know, I hope he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, definitely. He's, like, mad weird.
Yeah.
Now that I'm the real host.
Oh, I really hope he hears this when he edits. Fuck you, Colin. Fuck you, Colin.
Fuck that fake shame.
Yeah. You'll hear it later.
Let me put the skills up to good use. You know.
The crazy thing is, both of us have done karate for a long time. You're the only one who wasn't trained.
Right, yeah. How long did you do it?
I did it for like a decade. Like, I was in karate for a long time. Like, I just never got my black belt because I never, like, wanted to take the time to actually get from brown to black. I didn't feel like it. Like, because when I got to high school to do my like, that's when I got my brown belt, like, 9th grade, and then I joined band. Gotcha. And so, like, marching band, like, you have to take, like, 4 or 5 months at a time, like, without doing any type of karate. So I kept forgetting my kata. Like, I would learn it all the way, about to test, then band would start. And then I'd forget it completely. And so, like, I kept doing that, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't really want to do this anymore. So I never got my black belt, but, you know.
Oh, that sucks. Nah, my situation's weird, too, because, like, I got my... Like, I did my test for my black belt, and I passed. And then before I was able to get my official one with my name and my non number and all that engraved onto it, COVID hit, and I just never got back.
Yeah.
And I've seen my masters a few times, like, since then, and they've always been like, yeah, we kind of just have your belt just, like, sitting in the back. So I should probably go pick that up one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also plan on, like, going back to, like, martial arts eventually.
Okay.
Or, like, maybe not that one, maybe not Tang Soo Do yet, 'cause that's what I did. But try something else first, get my feet wet in that, see how I like it, and then go back to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, would you ever go back to finish?
Like, maybe. I just, like, it's so much, like, work and mental shit that like you have to overcome. And like it's been so long. Like part of our black belt test, like you have to do your kata, you have to do like you have to learn a weapon, and then you have to spar against the sensei. And like he doesn't hold back. Like he never holds back. Like that's not something he does.
Yeah.
And like I know, like I'm not like I'm not a fighter. Like I'm not like a.
Okay, Bryce Hall.
I'm not a fighter.
I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not a fighter.
I
bro.
never claimed to be a fighter.
Yeah. like I can do like my katas and everything, and like if I need to defend myself, I can do it because like the adrenaline will get me there. But like if I'm just sparring, I'm gonna get my ass beat every single time. And then my sensei like used to do like competitions, like boxing and so like. He would beat my ass. Like he has 2 kids who are both black belts, and like I was there when they got their black belts, and he beat their ass. I'm not here for it. Like I'm not ready for it because he's like he's not like a big dude, but like you know those guys who are like they're like really fit and like they're not big, but like they just hit hard for no reason.
Yeah,
that's it.
I know what you mean.
He hits hard.
Gotcha.
Like yeah, I don't think I'd ever be ready for that again.
Like we do like point sparring at most and like minimal contact or like it'd be like that or something at most. Like so we hold back a lot. And something tells me that if I were to ever get into like an actual fight, I would still be in that mode for some reason.
Yeah.
So like if I ever go for a punch, I would make contact and then pull away real quick. Like when I got you in the stomach when we did that. Yeah. That was sort of what I did.
I think it like scared
and you still
me more
crumpled.
Than anything. But also I don't get hit, so like anything just like it just freaks me out.
Yeah.
Did you see him get crumpled?
No, I want to see it.
Watching
I know you can't see it, but like
That's where,
that's my phone wallpaper. That's him on the ground. You know.
if you guys want to go see it, go check out the Colin and Devin channel where we did Devin teaches Colin how to fight.
Yeah.
That is a video that we put out like a few months ago. It's pretty funny. You get to see me get folded on repeat, and
We
it's
got
like
2 angles.
yeah, literally 2 angles of this shit. It like cuts back and forth. We did 2 different episodes or do different videos for like that same series where I had taught him like stuff about fashion and clothing, and then he had taught me stuff about martial arts.
Yeah. Diving into each other's specialties and you sort of see what.
We kind of like put it into like a TV show type format where it's like about 30 minutes. It breaks up in between like little confessionals where we talk about behind the scenes. The actual like video of us like doing it in motion, and like general thoughts kind of towards the end. That was actually really fun to shoot, and I hope that we can actually do more stuff like that
Me
for
too.
Colin and Devin.
Me too.
But we have also been doing like live streams on Colin and Devin. I know this just turned into plug mode, but I'm also kind of talking about it because I do get excited about doing this shit.
Right. Yeah.
Colin and Devin, we've also been doing live streams on the YouTube channel that get uploaded after they go live. So that also ends up being like an extra episode of the podcast. So if you want to go check us out more on there, you can. And it's not like with the distraction of the outdoors. It's kind of just us having a conversation, and y'all get to chime in the middle.
Plus, sorry to interrupt, but with the live streams, it gives us the benefit of not being delayed on like topical things by a few days.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing is like we'll have something that happens on Monday, and we'll talk about it on Monday, and then the episode comes out Friday, and the meme's dead.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And then I put out clips on TikTok, and it's like also the following Monday when I start putting those out. So it's rough. Like we talked about the whole Will Smith thing, and I couldn't put out a clip of that because it was already dead. And then it's a struggle out here.
Unless you're on Twitter, they're still talking about it. They won't shut up.
Maybe we should have posted that on Twitter.
I mean, we haven't touched that thing, have we?
We haven't touched our Twitter. I think we talked about how like I'm terrified of Twitter. I don't like know how to really start getting into Twitter, and you were talking about like how niche it is. And
it is. It's so hard to blow up on Twitter. Like you could have like 5 tweets that get like 1,000 likes, and you will have 2 followers still. Like no one follows people on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard, and I just don't feel like I'm funny enough for Twitter either.
Most people on Twitter aren't funny. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, cool. I felt like it's good. Twitter is also like really interesting right now because like what's all going on with the whole Elon thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like concerned for its future. Because it just came out like I think yesterday that So the whole story was he bought 9% in the company. There's something tax wrong with that because he disclaimed it like way after he was supposed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was like right over.
Yeah.
Damn.
He like made the disclaimer for it like right after like way after he was supposed to. So there's like some tax issuing with that. And then they had announced that he was going to go on the board. And then literally like the next day they were like, nah, he's not going on the board anymore.
Good.
Well, good in quotations, because the thing is, it's good that he's not on the board because he still clearly shit talks Twitter so much.
Yeah.
He has 9% stake in the company, and then he's like, honestly, their free speech shit is bullshit, yada, yada, yada. Then people start thinking about it, and they're like, wait, well, now that he's not on the board, I guess there's like certain regulations for board members on how much stake they can own in the company. For him to not be on the board, if he wants to, he could just outright buy the company or buy way higher stake in the company. Meaning he could have even more control than just being on the board.
Gotcha.
It's like a little bit scarier that way. And I'm like, I don't know. I do feel like Elon Musk is just a big con man, and my opinion hasn't changed on that. I think he's just a businessman, and
That Tesla guy?
yeah. He hates when people remind you that he didn't found Tesla, he didn't found PayPal.
He didn't do anything.
He kind of just made his way in, and then
He just
became the
bought
owner.
part of it, and then was like, "Oh, I'm gonna slap my name on top." But like, he's
Yeah.
not actually like he's not, he's not like an innovator. He's not like an engineer or anything. He's not that.
Yeah,
He was never that guy.
Yeah, never that guy.
not that guy.
All this time, he could have just ended world hunger.
For that,
Yeah,
that's
actually.
true.
Well, same thing with like the government just gave Jeff Bezos like a $10 billion check to go to space.
Which is crazy because like he doesn't need any more money.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gave a billionaire $10 billion, but when we ask for like more COVID relief or
like healthcare.
Healthcare.
Just basic healthcare would be cool.
And a lot of people will say like, oh, well, that's too expensive to do. And it's like, too expensive?
Pardon?
They just gave a billionaire $10 billion
Yeah.
of your money.
Yeah.
It was taxpayer money.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about like shit being too expensive to do? Go fucking shit on Jeff Bezos for once.
Shit on Jeff Bezos.
Shit on the
Jordan
government.
Blackburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get mad at the government for doing that shit. But then when people are asking like, oh, can you lower insulin prices and shit, it's like, the woke left doesn't understand how expensive things can be.
Which is crazy because
it's
like
literally
insulin
cheap.
literally is like 50 cents to make.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
It's just demand. Same thing with like gas prices. Before everything that's been happening with Russia, like Biden has had no input on the gas market, but you always see the stickers of like, oh, Biden did this. Biden did this.
Yeah, Biden
We
loves
just have
gas prices.
we have a free and open market that gets controlled by the gas companies.
Right.
You got to get mad at Exxon, all that kind of shit.
They actually came out like I think it was like a couple weeks ago, somewhere in like, I think it was Alabama. They had like, everyone was selling their gas for like $4, $5. And then one company was like, well, I'm going to sell mine for like $3.50. And they tried to sue that company for saying that they were taking all of their like, I don't know, customer base. But they were like, well, it's not our fault that you're price gouging. Like,
Yeah.
you can't sue me for that.
Can't sue me because you're, yeah,
Yeah. Taking advantage of like people.
yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Well,
Sorry to get into political talk, but
Right.
something about the Republican Party is just like their whole mantra is make things harder.
yeah.
Yes,
And then tell you to work harder.
And then tell you to work harder. It's
And I don't
crazy.
think that they understand that they're part of the group that's getting fucked over. I think that they just get indoctrinated into this idea that like they are the higher class and they're the upper echelon. And even the people who do know that they're getting fucked over, their blame is being guided away from what the real problem is.
Right.
That was so
Nice.
crazy.
Nice.
But, it is just kind of gross to see and frustrating because it just never feels like anything can get done. Like I said, working in retail, it just makes you realize that we dramatically overestimate the intelligence of like the average person.
We were talking about this with like fast food.
Yeah.
Like
Same thing.
Let's get into that because I want to get away from stupid old people. Actually, no,
And
that's
then
it's
talk
still
about
the
more
same.
stupid old people.
That's what I mean. Yeah. The politics of stupid old people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now let's talk about how they act.
Yes.
yeah,
Lord.
let's get into how entitled they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So it's like,
Yeah.
I used to work at Chipotle. I don't know if they're gonna like get me for this. I don't care.
I don't think they can after you leave.
But like I'll never forget. I opened the Chipotle near where we live, and the like first week we worked there, some old lady came in. She wasn't even old. She was like middle aged. She was like probably like 40s maybe. She brought in her 2 kids, and she ordered like kids burritos. Anyone who knows anything, sure. Anyone who knows anything about Chipotle knows that like they don't sell kids burritos. Like they don't have that. It's either like a kid's quesadilla or a kid's taco.
Mm-hmm.
So like we tried to explain that to her when she got to the line. We're like, we don't sell that, and she was like, well, I want a kid's burrito. And so we're like, we can make a smaller burrito with less food in it if that's what you want. And she was like, sure. So then she gets down to me, the cashier, and she's like arguing with me for a full 30 minutes. I don't want you to think that I'm over exaggerating. Like, I mean, literally 30 minutes. We had a line it was not even that long of a line, but because she took so long, it wrapped around the building because she would not stop talking and stop arguing about the fact that she wanted a kid's burrito. And so, like, even her kids were like tugging their mom, like being like, Mom, please just pay, please just pay. Because like everyone was staring at them like she wouldn't move. And then like my manager ended up just comping her entire meal. So she got it for free because she wouldn't leave us alone until we gave her 3 burritos for free for her 2 children.
Yeah, I think people know that they can just play the game to get free stuff.
Yeah.
So they just do it. I'm gonna have more stories next week.
Yeah.
But generally, I can just say like I've had similar situations where like I'll be on cashier.
I started doing cashiering. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's great because you're the face that they get to get mad at.
Yes.
Everybody else is just kind of like, well, they were trying to help, but they weren't that helpful or something. But like when you're the cashier, it's like you are the reason that I'm still here and I'm trying to go. So they just put all of their hatred into you.
And you are the reason that the price is what it is. Not the
Yeah.
company that
Oh, yeah,
controls
that
the
part
prices.
too.
No. The person at the 17-year-old at the cash register,
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah. The amount of times where like there will be something that is like 4 for $18, but they'll be like, well, I thought the sale was like 5 for $20 because that often is a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to go back and tell them like, no, it's 4 for $18, but if you saw a sign back, or like they'll be like, well, I saw a sign. They didn't, but they say it. I'm like, well, since you saw a sign, I honestly gets to the point where I just don't care and I just change the price because it's $1 billion company and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I just, make one of the extra things $2 to even it out. The other day, some old lady who doesn't understand technology got mad at me because of grammar. And that's where I was like, yeah, essentially I'm leaving my job. And that's why I'm saying I can be more specific later. But a lady was trying to put her card in the chip reader and it wasn't working. And I was like, that's weird. I'm going to try and figure that out. I'm going to call somebody over to help. And she was getting mad at me like I was supposed to know how to fix a card reader.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting help. Don't worry. She's like, yeah, because it's ridiculous. And I'm like, Word, yeah, that part. So I finally get a manager over and I'm like, hey, there's something wrong with the chip. She hears that, loses her shit. She's like, well, actually, no, that's not correct. There's something wrong with the machine because the lady before was also having issues. And there's something wrong with the machine because I've tried 3 cards. I was like, okay, cool. When I say the chip, I mean the chip reader, I mean the machine itself. It can, just generally speaking, there's something wrong with the process of putting the chip in.
Yeah.
So, dickhead. Yeah, it was like nitpicky as fuck. And the team lead was like, oh, okay, let me try something. And she just puts it in, but lifts it up a little bit so that the chip can be read by the reader. And it worked. So first off, the chip reader wasn't broken. She was doing it wrong, but whatever.
They can never be wrong. The customer is always right.
Which is
always.
crazy because that creates this like insane amount of like self-entitlement that is just like, I feel like it's just an American issue.
It is.
Because it creates such a level of disrespect to the workers that the workers want to disrespect the customers back.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime you are in a situation where there are disrespectful employees, it's because their manager is either treating them with disrespect, their customers are treating them with disrespect, and that can affect their job performance. I always try to look at it that way so that I don't hate everywhere I go, you know? So I feel like it really just is a respect thing, because everywhere else, I feel like if you go somewhere, generally they're going to treat you well as long as you treat them right.
Yeah. Unless you go to Popeyes.
Yeah.
Then they're going to cuss you out.
That's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But anywhere else, I'd say a little bit of empathy goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still feel like it kind of goes down to bad management. I feel like the problem is always bad management. If there's a person who just has an attitude issue generally, that's a management issue.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have hired that person.
Yeah.
If somebody's mad because something is going wrong in their job, it's a management issue. But they always want to place it down on the lower people because that's always the person that you can cut and be replaceable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Damn, I don't want to end on a sad note.
yeah, just politics. Capitalism sucks.
Definitely.
White fragility.
Yeah, this is
Oligarchy.
A very somber episode.
Yeah, I think just because of the topics that we had to talk about were based off of like really like societal, like philosophical type shit. So,
Boy.
it is one of those episodes, but I still feel like it's fun to kind of have this kind of conversation.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it off. Penis joke, penis joke, penis
Oh
joke.
my god, no. But y'all play Lego Star Wars?
It's so good. It's so
You
good.
have it?
I don't have it, but my friends on Discord like streamed them
Gotcha.
playing it. It's so cool.
I
Like you can
love it.
drive the Falcon. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like you can like force people.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
have it. It's great. You have to get it.
I'm going to get it. It's such a good
Yeah.
game.
Colin, you can go fuck yourself.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I was gonna get it or not, but no, just
guess
straight
not.
to go fuck yourself. Like,
No, but-
I don't even get a
No,
chance.
the thing with let me get into this now so it doesn't just sound like I'm a
Hold the
terrible
mic to your
friend.
face, my boy. You gotta
Oh.
let me just. Sorry.
But let me get into it now so people don't think I'm just a terrible friend. I kind of am, but anyway. So Colin told me like a few days ago that he has actually never owned any Lego game.
Ever?
Ever.
Right. That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
It's not like
What?
it's not like by choice. It was like I grew up with like a Nintendo DS and a
And you
Nintendo
didn't get Lego Batman?
and a Nintendo Wii. And I didn't. The problem with the Lego franchises was that like they were based off of franchises that I didn't really play, or like that I didn't really find interesting. Like I wasn't into superheroes until like middle school.
Wow.
So like any of the DC shit, I didn't watch Star Wars till the beginning of high school.
You're lying.
No, I didn't watch Star Wars until like the new prequel came out because I was trying to catch up with my dad.
You didn't watch it till like they got to Rey?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because my dad was a huge Star Wars fanboy. And
He
just-
never played
he
Star
never
Wars for you?
made me watch it, yeah.
Wow.
So we watched it before that movie came out just to catch up. And I still don't really remember much from the prequels because of that. Because
Yeah,
we watched
the prequels suck.
we watched like the first three, 4 through 6. And then we watched the prequels and I kind of slept through those.
Yeah, it's
But-
okay. You could have slept through the prequels.
But again, a lot of the Lego properties I didn't really like find interesting, so I didn't have a reason to really play the Lego games. All I really had was the commercials to go off of, and I didn't really have friends that talked about the Lego games or played the Lego games. So I didn't even have like that frame of reference to be like, oh, well, it's still a fun game.
Yeah.
So I just never played a Lego game.
That's crazy. I've owned like almost all of the Lego games. I had like Star Wars. I had Batman. I think they had a Spider-Man one at one point. Like I played that one too.
Yeah.
Like,
I
played
had
a
the
bunch.
Indiana Jones ones.
That one was amazing.
Right.
That one was insane. That was a very good game.
I even played the Harry Potter ones for a bit, and I never even watched all the Harry Potter
About
ones.
Harry Potter. That was a good. Lego Harry Potter was good too.
Yeah.
I didn't have the Hobbit ones or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I didn't play those either.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had games, let alone Lego ones. So
Right. Nah, but when you told me that, I felt, whoa. Sorry.
Oh.
It just flew like really close to you.
Yeah, we got to get a shot of that.
I hope so. But when you told me that, it was a mixture between like little bit anger, but also like a lot of like
Disappointment.
sadness. For you.
Sadness,
Yeah.
yeah. Your childhood sucked.
Yeah, honestly,
No, I grew up with Wii Sports.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But the Wii had Lego games too.
It did.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
just didn't know about it.
That's
I grew up with like Mario and
so you never had the satisfaction of like breaking like a cluster of like bricks and stuff and having the studs fall out and you just collecting all that. You never had the satisfaction of doing that.
You never heard the Lego build noise. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
That's crazy.
I think I learned more about the Lego games from TikTok than I did from actually playing them.
That's crazy.
I
Like,
just wow.
Yeah.
that's insane. You missed out on a giant part of like childhood.
I looked that hawk dead in its eyes. I think that thing is gonna come kill us.
You specifically.
Yeah,
The Hawk is like,
you.
you've never
Yeah.
played Lego Star Wars.
Fuck you in particular.
Yeah. Nah, but you've never had the satisfaction of like doing a mission and then filling the top bar up and like having all the studs. Oh my, dude.
That's
It's gonna be a great clip.
Oh my god.
That's
I
so
hope you get
insane.
flamed.
Yeah, honestly.
I hope
Go
you
ahead
in
and drop in
comments
the.
are like, F you.
Damn, this guy sucks.
This guy sucks.
Who gave him a podcast? Why'd that bird land on the ground like
This
that?
guy's so lame.
Bro, just walking. Sorry, I'm still fascinated by this bird.
No, the bird is
It's a
tiny.
big bird.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Look at it go.
I was hoping it would stay so that we can get a shot for the intro. We'll see if we can.
Oh
But-
yeah, we don't even know what we're gonna do for an intro.
Yeah. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll do the quick outro plug thing.
Before you do, I want to acknowledge your Obama shirt, and I want to acknowledge Mr. Barack. I mean, Mr. Mr. Obama. Mr. Barack.
Man, you had to call him by
I-
the first name.
yeah, I
I didn't
sent-
know we were on that basis.
Yeah. Mr. Barack, I sent you a DM on Instagram. Keep your head up, Playboy. I hope you get back to us on that. We would love to have you on the pod. This is
Mr.
all legit too. I'll send.
We will ask the real questions.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke. You actually did send them.
Yeah. If you want to, I'll send you a screenshot. If you want to put it up somewhere.
Yeah.
I hope you get back to us. We'll bring the bench to you. You can come here.
Yeah, if you just want to meet in this random park in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're going to ask the real questions like what your last name is and why you bomb.
Anyways, I hope you, Michelle, and the kids are doing fine. Way to ruin our chances.
Yeah, yo, we'll just beep that part. Anyways, go ahead and check out the Colin and Devin channel. We go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Come talk to us. It'll be a fun time. We really enjoy having people in there. And, check out the podcast. Go ahead and leave us 5 stars if you're on a podcasting platform. Go ahead and leave a like, comment if you're on YouTube.
Check out Jordan and his music.
Absolutely. Never by Jordan Blackburn out now.
Be prepared to cream. Be prepared to cream, yeah.
Yeah, be prepared to cream. He's got new stuff on the way too.
Yeah.
So, keep a lookout. Really talented dude.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
This
Thank
was
you
a
for
good
having me.
episode.
This was cool.
All right.
Well, cream.
Of course you can.
Yeah, cream.